Year 2 of the Gainbridge Super League heads to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, set to kick off its new campaign. Fort Lauderdale United, runners-up last season, and Jasmine Hamid looking to get back across the finish line in 2025. They'll take on a renewed Lexington SC team, and Addie McCain making her return to Fort Lauderdale. It's Lexington and Fort Lauderdale United next. The curtain opens on a new season. Fort Lauderdale United and Lexington SC kick off year 2 of the Gainbridge Super League in South Florida. Tonight's match presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing, keeping South Florida cool and comfortable year-round. Welcome inside Beyond Bankers Field alongside the U.S. Beach National teamer Nikki Haynes. I'm Jake Griffith. Glad to have you with us. Fort Lauderdale United last season, a romp to the title game, but Nikki losing in heartbreaking fashion.
Super tough. Here we have Fort Lauderdale sitting deep in the box waiting for that long throw, but instead they look short for Nacello, who takes it down line, beats Brooks, plays a beautiful ball into the box where Flew comes driving in, puts it in the back of the net, and leaves Fort Lauderdale flat-footed. I mean, they took advantage of that one glimpse of exhaustion. Can't do that.
Tampa Bay Sun at the end of the day hoisting the title, a heartbreaking ending in the campaign for Fort Lauderdale United, trying to get back to the title match this season. To do so, they'll rely on tonight's player to watch, presented by Baptist Health, Kiara Locklear.
Kiara Locklear, 7 goals and 4 assists last year, which is huge, but in that loss of McCain, they're really going to look to see who's going to be the engine of the team, and I think they're looking right at her. Locklear,
the former Atlantic Sun Player of the Year collegiately, also won 208 duels a season ago. For Lexington SC, it was a bottom-of-the-table finish in year 1, trying to right the ship in year 2.
I mean, looking at the positives, they have 3 of 4 wins last year on the road, one of those being right at Fort Lauderdale, but what they're really going to look at are those negatives and how they can improve on that. So they have the league worst in shots and shots on frame, and 62 goals against, dropping 13 points, which is massive. So they're really going to look to improve on that and see where they can capitalize.
One way to improve off-season acquisitions. Lexington SC reloading the stables in the off-season. Addie McCain coming over from Fort Lauderdale United. Mackenzie Weiner joining the fold, but the big emphasis on the reigning player of the year, Amina Ekic.
Number 10 coming in with 10 goals and 6 assists over from Spokane last year. She became the 2024-2025 Player of the Year, which is huge. She creates so much versatility and unpredictability on the field, which is the kind of player that I would want on my team. She creates goals in the box, outside the box, set pieces, headers, you name it, and yeah, we're excited to see what she can bring this year.
Ekic, it's a homecoming for her, the native of Kentucky, trying to lead Lexington to their first ever playoffs. Year 2 of the Gainbridge Super League kicks off when we return. Fort Lauderdale United, 3 all-time wins against Lexington SC. It's Fort Lauderdale, it's Lexington. Starters and kick when we return.
With over 2 decades of experience in the payment industry, Beyond Bankcard is more than just a payment processor. We are a partner dedicated to your success. Our mission is simple: to provide innovative, flexible payment processing solutions tailored to meet your needs.
We partner up with various companies, restaurants, retail, smoke shops, convenience store, you name it, we have the POS system for it.
Whether it's tools we provide or the relationships we nurture, Beyond Bankcard is here to power your payment solutions.
From the trusted family of All Year Cooling and the official water of Fort Lauderdale United FC, we bring you All Year Hydration. Our whole home water purification system removes chlorine, lead, microplastics, even forever chemicals. Visit us at allyearhydration.com to book your free water test today.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gainbridge, graded assists for your savings.
Back inside Beyond Bankers Field, tonight's player walkout presented by Amerant Bank. Lauderdale United, Lexington SC, moments away from getting year 2 of the Gamebridge Super League off and running. Tonight's coin toss brought to you by Beyond Banker, setting the stage for every great moment. This setting the stage for the season opener between Lexington SC and Fort Lauderdale United. A chance to look at our starting lineup presented by LaCroix Spring Water. Tyrone Mears, manager, and Fort Lauderdale United starting with a 4-3-3. They want to be a good team playing out of the back. Haley Craig, the goalkeeper, will help them do that.
4-3-3, my favorite formation. It allows that versatility to be able to build out of the back, but also creates that space on the width. So if they can get that creativity going down the line, but also from the front attackers, it'll be exciting to see.
For Lexington SC and manager Masaki Himi, they counter with a 4-3-3 of their own. Emphasis on that front three. They want to be a good pressing team.
4-3-3 versus 4-3-3. I mean, it's going to be super interesting to see who has more creativity and what they're thinking up top from Lexington here. It's going to be super exciting. So let's see that creativity from the forwards, and let's get to goal.
Himi telling us earlier this week they want to play an exciting brand of soccer for Lexington, one that's attractive for all the players, trying to be that up-tempo, high-pressing style of team in year 1 of the Masaki Himi era. All set to go inside Beyond Bankard Field. It was a rainy one early on here in the Fort Lauderdale area. That's given way to clearer skies this evening. Lauren Aldrich, she is our center referee tonight. 4 meetings a season ago, physical contests in all 4 of them. 11 combined yellow cards handed out in 2024-25. Fort Lauderdale United and Lexington SC locked up last. Fort Lauderdale trying to open the season not just on a strong note, but defending home turf. 6 wins, but 6 losses and 4 draws at Beyond Bankard Field a season ago. 1 win in their final 6 home fixtures. Addie McCain and Lexington SC will start things out. Lauren Aldrich sounds the whistle, and year 2 of the Gamebridge Super League is off and running. Beyond Bankard Field is our site here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Quickly asking questions is Amina Ekic and Lexington SC, and they win a foul. That is what she does so well.
Yeah, let's see what they can do with it now. First free kick, let's see it.
An early set-piece opportunity as Ekic hovers over top of it. It was 12 set-piece goals a season ago for Lexington SC. Masaki Himi coming into this year 1 of his tenure. Said his team, he's emphasized the importance of being a good set-piece converting team. Ekic whips this one out wide, headed back toward goal, but out of play.
Yeah, I think she wanted a little bit more interior in that box, but hey, I mean, first one, let's get the feet wet.
Replays delivered by Delta Airlines, already back on it briefly. Is Lexington SC. Fort Lauderdale trying to clear the lines. Advantage played here for the home side. Another whistle sounds from Lauren Aldrich. Nikki, as a player, first game of the season, naturally going to have some jitters. How do you shake those out early?
For me, I'd say easy touches, 1-2 passes, feel confident on those, and then I think it kind of flows from there. So nothing crazy, keep it simple, get those jitters out.
Alyssa Bourgeois, the Massachusetts native, former Spokane Zephyr, pleading her case to Lauren Aldrich. Early on, as we emphasized at the top of our broadcast, Fort Lauderdale trying to focus on building out from the back. It's something that down the stretch of last season, Allie Rogers, associate head coach, talked a lot about wanting them to be a better team building out from the back. As they do have a throw in over on that far side, quickly ahead to Kat Gonzalez. They'll lob that out wide to Locklear, and a change of possession will occur via the throw in. We are seeing them, though, make that emphasis trying to start things with Haley Craig at the back.
Absolutely. Let's see what we can do here.
Lauderdale trying to step in front. A scrum ensues in the midfield, and we have another whistle. On that subject, though, of goalkeepers being such an integral part now of generating offense, that really is where the modern game of soccer is going. If you don't have a keeper that can distribute, you're not going to go very far.
Yeah, absolutely not. You don't want that one who's just going to keep sending it long, because it just becomes a race. So if you can really be able to find that width, find that those balls from that keeper, you can be able to create that creativity from the back, pull players out, create the space, and it's the best way to play, in my opinion.
Another whistle from our center referee. Up this near touchline, here's Ekic carrying it wide. Trying to swing past Ella Simpson. Locked in a battle. Quickly thrown back in toward that penalty area. Takes a deflection and finally rolls out of play. It will stay on this end of things. First corner of the evening coming up for Lexington. This corner kick presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing.
For me, what I'm looking for is let's get Hamid on the ball. I mean, if Hamid gets on the ball, she shoots, she scored. So that's a big factor for us here. We want to see happen.
First corner of the night for Lexington. Driven in toward goal, punched away by Craig. A short clearance away from Gonzalez, but the pressure lives. Steered back to Kat Asman getting the start. The former Orlando Pride netminder came over in July to this Lexington SC side on the loan. Former 39th overall pick in the NWSL draft in 2024. Prior to that, spent time at Penn State in the Big Ten. Ekic tight roping the near touchline. Simpson will win it back for Fort Lauderdale. Tonight's keys to the game presented by Amerant Bank, your hometown bank supporting every winning strategy. For Fort Lauderdale United, as you alluded to, they want to get Jasmine Hamid on the ball.
Absolutely. She is known for scoring. You put her on the ball, she takes a shot, she scores. So if we can make that happen, Fort Lauderdale can make that happen, huge. And then heading into Lexington, I mean, the big thing is do not concede. That is the one thing we want to see from them. They do not want to come from behind. So if they can hold that press against Fort Lauderdale, that's going to be huge for them.
Lexington SC, over 50% of their goals conceded a season ago were inside that penalty area. There was a whistle from Lauren Aldrich. We'll move the free kick back for Lexington SC. Tonight's injury report is presented by Baptist Health. Fort Lauderdale United, 2 injuries reported, among those Sloveni Vaca as she continues to work back to full fitness from that ACL injury. For Lexington, rather, a clean bill of health to start the year, and they are on it again. Almost 7 minutes in as that turned out of play. Lexington will have a throw. It has been some one-way traffic on this end of things as Bourgeois tosses it in. Nodded into the middle. Here's Fung. Lexington with it, rolled centrally in front. It's Ekic! Just fiddles that wide.
Great movement, though. They pulled players over from Fort Lauderdale to the right, played it to the left, found it in the box, and just missed that goal. But, I mean, getting the shots off, getting that space, love to see it.
Ekic able to get over to that dominant foot. A great ball played through. That's what makes this so special, this combination they have, is that you look at Amina Ekic, the numbers, their 16 goal contributions, and it's insane to think that she wasn't even playing in her natural position a season ago with Spokane. The options are endless for Lexington.
Absolutely. We're 7 minutes in, and Ekic has been all over that ball. It's exactly what we want to see, and it's exciting.
Play that one forward was Catherine Berry. Now quickly tossed up ahead. That one fired wide. Gap closed off very quickly by Kat Gonzalez. Rather, Allie George, the loan acquisition from Racing Louisville. Addie McCain able to get on that one, making her return to Fort Lauderdale United.
That creativity and that connection with McCain to Ekic is huge, so we're already seeing parts of it, and we're 8 minutes in. Amazing.
Similar to what we were discussing about Amina Ekic, Addie McCain, when she was here with Fort Lauderdale, they relied on her really as a goal scorer. 10 goals scored for Addie McCain a season ago, tied for 4th most in the league with Amina Ekic. And again, allowing her now take that emphasis off of her in terms of the scoring department. Now she can play her natural role, anchoring the midfield for Lexington.
Yeah, she's crucial in that center role, being able to have the creativity. I mean, last year she did put the goals in the back of the net, which is great, but now she gets to play her natural position, that creativity, controlling the middle of the field. Huge connection with Ekic up top, so amazing.
Fort Lauderdale United trying to plant their flag in this end of things. That cleared away by Lexington. To take a deflection, and change of possession will occur via the throw-in. Tossed up ahead, that into an empty space out of the reach of Ekic. Here's Hamid, nifty ball looped through. Van Treek works it on, it's Locklear. Gonzalez lays it off, here's Hamid. Still Jasmine Hamid, flanked with options, connecting with Van Treek. Served in, promptly cleared away, and it's out for a throw. Lauderdale trying to move very quickly, connecting with Hamid again. Gives it up to Ella Simpson, the former Stanford Cardinal. Hamid trying her hand, parried over the bar, and out for a corner.
I love that she's taking those shots from out wide, or from out far. Putting it in there, test the keeper, let's see what she got.
What's the old coach's adage? Put shots on net and good things can happen.
Can't shoot, you can't score. You don't shoot, you can't score.
A corner for Fort Lauderdale United. This corner kick presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. 5 corner goals for Tyrone Mears' Fort Lauderdale United side in 2024-25. It's the offseason acquisition, Kat Gonzalez, who will trigger this in. Gonzalez lobs this into a crowd, shortly nodded away. Back to Raji, into the thick of it, headed toward goal. And Kat Asman will make her first save of the night. Worked on this near side. Here's Bourgeois. Connecting with Ekic, probing in the middle. She'll switch this one out wide. Fung coming over to Lexington from Fort Lauderdale, like her former teammate in Addie McCain. Has to turn this one to the back. Long pass lifted ahead. That handcuffs the clearance. Intercepted, countering is Lexington. Player still down for Fort Lauderdale United. Worked out wide, but overhit. Trying to find Alyssa Bourgeois, and that goes out for a goal kick.
Idea, though. I love that she's she pulled out wide, created that space, and they pulled the defenders over the opposite side, played her over, and a little too far, but the idea was there.
Just at the last minute, as Addie McCain trying to step up and win that back, crunching into the Fort Lauderdale defender. That forced somewhat of an errant clearance that allowed that counterattack to develop. Ellis Simpson will have to throw in on this near side. Comes over to Fort Lauderdale United, former Orlando Pride injury replacement player in the NWSL recently. Tuso will watch that one roll out, and Lexington will have the throw. So much has been made about the offensive acquisitions in the offseason for Lexington. One of those on it now, and Amina Ekic, who's able to break that high press down. But Allison Pantuso, that's a crucial pickup along the back. An iron woman a season ago for Brooklyn. 28 appearances, played every minute last season.
I mean, having that creativity up top and that connection is huge, but if you don't have that solid defense, it's not going to get you anywhere. So solid pickup for them.
As a player, what kind of mentality does that take to be able to play every single minute of every appearance?
Oh my gosh, the mental and physical strength to have that is crucial, and the fact that she played it off, it's a pivotal role, especially in that position, to be able to kind of see the full field, take control on the field, and as a voice, huge for them.
Almost 15 minutes in, both teams looking for the opening goal. They have had their chances. Fort Lauderdale United, 2 shots on target. Both of their shots have gone on frame. In spite of that, Lexington has spent a bit more time in the attacking end of things in these first 15 minutes, and they're back on it again. A big reason why their midfield shape has been very strong. McCain trying to turn this upfield to Ekic. Too heavy of a touch at first. Still Ekic though. We're bunching up. Fung and Ekic breaking out as Fort Lauderdale. Here's Hamid on the left.
Here's a counter, let's see it.
Hamid shifting, Hamid going down, and there's a whistle.
Wow, another free kick 15 minutes in. What are we at, 4? She's driving, she's going forward. Oof, that little move threw her off though, huge. Good for her. See if they can make something of it.
That's the kind of quality that Hamid brings to this team. Tyrone Mears was very candid with us this week. He said, yes, I know Addie McCain got a lot of the attention a season ago, but he really felt like Jasmine Hamid was their best player in 2024-25.
He did, and I think, yeah, it's a great perspective. So let's see if she can capitalize and show it for the fans this year.
Hamid, the former Towson Tiger, winning a free kick in a really advantageous position. She hovers over it, as does Gonzalez. It'll be Raji, the offering! Brilliant!
Wow. Barely any movement from that line.
Daria Raji opens the account for Fort Lauderdale in 2025. 1-0.
Absolutely great finish. Absolutely great finish. Great spin on that ball. Perfectly placed in the side of the net. Beautiful. Great take right there.
Curling that in short side past the sprawling Kat Asman. That is one way to start the season for Daria Raji and Fort Lauderdale United out in front at home. This Fort Lauderdale United FC goal is brought to you by Baptist Health, committed to keeping our athletes and community at their best. The first goal of the season for Raji and the first goal of the season for Fort Lauderdale United. It now puts Lexington back on their heels, and Fort Lauderdale wanting more. This worked all the way ahead. Locklear on the left. Locklear shifting, cuts it back central to Gonzalez. Smith will cycle this one along. Play it forward. That dumped out of play for a Fort Lauderdale throw in.
Fort Lauderdale United goal scored by number 12,
Still with it is Fort Lauderdale, knifing through the heart of the defense. Playing over to Locklear, and that finally cleared back to the feet of Kat Asman. Going to take the pressure off, but that pressure continuing from Fort Lauderdale, relentless right now. Hamid ultimately plays that out for a Lexington throw. You're Lexington. You go down early in this contest, 16 minutes in. How do you try to battle back now in this first half?
Well, it's interesting because you really look at those first 16 minutes, and Lexington had more opportunities, but they didn't put in the back of the net just like last year. So they've really got to capitalize on those. And Hamid is making a big difference in those counterattacks. They cannot let them counter.
Hamid has been a real force, winning the foul that set that free kick up. It was ultimately scored on by Raji. That goes out for another Lexington throw. This Fort Lauderdale United side, one thing that Tyrone Mears emphasized in the week coming into this matchday 1 fixture, Lexington coughs it up. He said, we're not at full strength right now. We're still missing some players, but they look very dangerous early on. McCain hoofs this one ahead. On the left-hand side, it's Griffith. Still Griffith with it, shuffling to the end line, tries to cut it central. It was blocked out. It's another corner for Lexington.
Great drive down the line, cut, fake, change of pace. Great defense, though. Let's see if they can capitalize on this corner.
This corner kick presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. It's the second corner of the evening for Lexington. Ekic will pull the strings from this far flag. Ekic, former draft pick by Racing Louisville. It's Ekic. Drops this right in front. And making the grab is Craig. Bourgeois quickly trying to toss it back in toward that 18. Fung got a piece of it, but now it's cleared away toward Locklear. Back on the attack are the visitors from Kentucky. Lobbed toward goal, just over the outstretched hands of Hara.
They're really testing that offense, that keeper there, but I mean, they gotta get it in the goal.
It's a probing ball toward the face of goal and toward Bella Hara, the California native. A late change in net for Fort Lauderdale United just prior to kick. It concedes another corner to the visitors. This corner kick presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. Rooted in toward a crowd, punched away again by Hara, and a thump further clear. Select, the official match ball supplier of the Gamebridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Lauren Aldrich will usher both teams to their respective touchlines. This hydration break presented by LaCroix Sparkling Water. There is also a player down for Fort Lauderdale United who are on the front foot 16 minutes into this contest. Daria Raji converting off a free kick in the 16th minute, a spectacular finish.
Great drive by Hamid.
Hamid ultimately winning a foul here to set the free kick up, and then Raji would step up.
Beautiful placement, great curve on that ball, great bend.
The way it breaks at the last minute there, hooking back to the inside.
Could not have placed it better, beautiful.
Kat Asman trying her best there. Just sometimes that's just better offense than what the goalkeeper can dial up. And that put Fort Lauderdale out in front. Since then, though, Lexington, there was a bit of burst from Fort Lauderdale right after going up 1-0. But Lexington has started to settle back into what we've seen throughout this first half, which is good spells of possession, trying to take advantage of the wide areas. And that goes back to that idea that Masaki Himi told us, wanting to be that offensive-minded team and utilize the wide spaces to their advantage.
And they really are using that connection, that creativity up top. It's giving them the chances, haven't quite put it in the back of the net yet, but it's creating those opportunities, which is nice. They just cannot allow those counterattacks.
Quick throw back in from Bourgeois. Turning, firing this across the face of goal. Falls out the other side to Griffith. Griffith really battling there. Had her pocket picked by Hamid. Now muscled down. And there's a whistle for a foul.
Wow.
Just laying a shoulder into her.
That's a body right there.
Very much so has the vibes of one of those frustration fouls, yes, but maybe trying to send an early message as well. The one thing that Masaki Himi emphasized in our midweek chat with Lexington's first-year coach, the way they've retooled this roster, they feel like they do have good size, good height now across this 11. Really a very deep team this year for Lexington.
They do, and they're definitely setting that tone. So, I mean, he said it, we're seeing it.
Lexington SC will have a throw-in over on that far side of things. They come into the new Gamebridge Super League season on a 10-match winless streak dating back to the second half of the 2024-25 season. 9 losses, 1 draw over those final 10.
More
collision.
body.
Physicality starting to pick up a little bit as this first half continuing on.
I'm okay with it, though. It sets a tone.
Trying to feed it inside, promptly cleared out of play by Fort Lauderdale. Lexington will have another throw. Masaki Himi, former Chicago Stars assistant and interim head coach. Prior to that, spent time in the USL Championship with New Mexico United. I thought he had such a great perspective on all of his journeys about how the coaches he's worked with have shaped him. And he told us, he said, really, it didn't even start with his professional experience. It goes all the way back to his time with Real Colorado and Denver collegiately. Really credits those as some of those formative years. Spent some time also in Japan as well, learning how they train and play.
That was the coolest for me, what he had spoken about his time here in the U.S. and the time in Japan and the difference there. His Japan training experience combined with the style of coaching and training in the U.S. was really cool. Great perspective there. That creativity versus that competition and putting together. I loved it, especially to hear as a player and a coach myself.
He's tried to bring a lot of those same training methods over to Lexington with him. Lexington are on the move again. They have it on the left. It's Griffith. She steps inside, rolls it in front. A scramble ensues, still loose. Took a deflection off a defender, headed back along. The clearance whiffed on. Ulmer trying to help it along. And finally cleared out of a crowd by Fort Lauderdale.
Good space on the width. Movement.
Bourgeois gives it up to Fung, who will reset things. One thing that has stood out from Lexington in these almost first 30 minutes. Their patience has been on display, willing to cycle things to the back and reset. Here they are again. On the turn, it's Ekic. Ekic trying to dodge past a challenge. Well timed. And a whistle for a foul in the box.
Oof, great tackle there. Keeping Ekic on her feet still. Good movement, nice save.
Laurel Ansbro timing that out very, very well. Ekic ultimately committing the foul on the end of it. There was a yellow issued from Lauren Aldrich there at the end of that. Catherine Berry, the former South Carolina two-time All-SEC pick, shown yellow just for booting that ball away. I know this from covering games that Lauren Aldrich has been a center referee, and she's a no-nonsense official, and she is showing that early on. Trying to keep things in the confines.
She absolutely is. I think we're at, what, 5 fouls now?
Ulmer gives it up. Fung hounded tightly there. Fort Lauderdale's ability to close in quickly on the ball when Lexington has it has really got Lexington out of their comfort zone early on.
It has, and it's, I think that's also what's given them the counterattacks, which has been the one dangerous thing against them. So we'll see if they can close on that moving forward.
Switched out wide, here's Pantuso. Pantuso cuts it back inside, now whipped out on the right-hand channel. It's Bourgeois with it. Bourgeois peels this one back. Ekic, edge of the area, Ekic goes down. This will be a whistle and more.
Wow, another free kick. Dangerous spot too.
Hamid shown yellow for this foul.
Great ball right there. Top of the box, away from the keeper. And dangerous, dangerous free kick here.
In a similar area, but on the other end from what we saw from Fort Lauderdale United. They did score on that set piece.
They did. Let's see if we can capitalize here as well.
Mina Ekic, 10 goals a season ago. If you're Tyrone Mears and this Fort Lauderdale coaching staff, holding your breath right now as the reigning player of the year hovers over top of it. It was 4 free kick goals for Lexington during the previous campaign. Aldrich trying to direct some traffic on the left side of your screen. Ekic curls it over the bar and out.
Close one.
Right idea, just the finish not there.
Yeah, nice little bend there, a little too high, but great idea.
That Fort Lauderdale coaching staff can finally release that long-held breath. Anytime a player of the quality of Amina Ekic gets an opportunity on a set piece, especially that close to goal.
Yeah, especially that close to goal. Here we go, another drive by Hamid.
Hamid works it ahead. Here's Locklear muscled down. The whistle comes in from Aldrich for the collision behind as Hamid goes down.
Hamid down again. I mean, this is her specialty this game. Every time she's driving, she's creating that foul, creating that set piece. I think it's huge on her part. I think it could be really dangerous as we keep moving forward. Something for Lexington to watch. Sorry about that. That is Naya Christopher, but still great, great drive from her.
Boot it forward. Back underway. Now here's Fung. Thumped up ahead, Lexington, that out of the reach. Laying on top of it is Bellahara to end the danger for Lexington SC. It was one of the few times in that build-up in this first half we've seen Lexington use those switching passes to try to change the attacking angle of play. How beneficial is it when you can use those square balls to perfection?
Huge. I mean, something we also heard about from Hemi was that they wanted to have that versatility of using the width, but also that middle area and not being so predictable, and they are doing exactly that. They're having those square balls and those through balls at the same time, but also being able to move through the middle. And that versatility, unpredictability is huge for them.
You never want to be a one-dimensional team. You want to try to show variance in the way you build things out.
It is the way, best way to carry forward.
Play back underway, skying free kick inside the box. Knocked away from our first half goal scorer, Raji, but still on it is Fort Lauderdale. Ella Simpson. Smith trying to work it back onto Raji. A takeaway, and Lexington countering now. Helped up along. This is Catherine Berry. Plays it out wide, trying to find Addie McCain. And Nia Christopher will pick that up.
I like that ball behind, though. The idea, can't see it coming. Not quite there, but good idea.
Whipped up on this left channel. Hamid trying to run it down and does. Tightly defended is Hamid. Simpson. To Raji, to Hamid. Lauderdale really trying to use those passing triangles, edge of the 18 to open things up. Lexington not budging though.
Staying compact, which is good.
Hansbrough. Hansbrough will roll this one back through, trying to play Simpson in. Simpson's cross, deflected away. Hamid trying to head it back along, ultimately heads that out of play. And Lexington will have a goal kick. Lexington with 5 shots in this opening half. None of them have gone on target, and that was a theme that developed last year. Lexington, some of the fewest shots on target in the Gainbridge Super League a season ago. When they did put shots on target, they were a top 3 finishing team, over 15% shot conversion rate, but it's just about getting those chances into dangerous areas, and they're not doing that so far.
No, I mean, they've had some opportunity. I do see that creativity up top, but nothing quite so dangerous right on frame. So hopefully we can see more of that. But the creativity is making a difference. It's just not really seeing the final product.
Kane leaves this one off. Connect with Ulmer. Of course, it is important to note on that subject, it is only match day 1. This is a completely new team from a season ago. The numbers speak for themselves for Lexington. Just 10 of their 29 goals scored back this season. 9 players who played over 1,000 minutes for the Greens gone from last year's roster. We have another whistle from Lauren Aldrich, and another yellow comes out of the pocket of our center referee. That makes 3 bookings in this first half. Kiara Locklear, our player to watch coming into tonight's match. She's shown yellow. The fouls were an area for Fort Lauderdale that they want to try to clean up heading into 2025. There's being aggressive and there's being a bit too aggressive. One of the highest amounts of fouls committed last year, 354 last Gainbridge Super League season, 53 yellows handed out to this Fort Lauderdale United team.
Wow.
Play back underway off the stoppage. It's headed away. Allie George got a head to it. Barry comes up with it, maneuvering through the midfield. And Tuso works it up ahead. Here's Bourgeois. Pass cut out. And Fort Lauderdale looking for the clearance. Instead, they will have a throw in. Elsewhere around Gainbridge Super League play, Brooklyn and Tampa Bay, the defending champions, as we have another whistle for a foul. They are 24 minutes into that contest, 0-0 between Brooklyn and Tampa Bay Sun. As Hamid helped back to her feet. 8 of the 9 teams in action on match day 1 for the Gainbridge Super League. Sporting Jacks joining the fold in year 2. Promising signs for the league in terms of their upward trajectory, the growth, the health of the league. Mansborough puts this back into play, and we resume. We're way back down to Asman. Another card coming out of the pocket of Lauren Aldrich. Mantuso shown yellow for Lexington. This first half, it's been physical, and it's been a wash in yellow.
It has. Oh, boy.
Mantuso just colliding with Locklear. Back along, out of the reach of Hamid, and one back by Lexington, at least for a moment. Raji, what a ball played through, looking for Hamid. Oh, that is an excellent challenge applied.
Great tackle right there.
Yeah, but to disrupt the buildup at the last moment, it's Ekic. That's the kind of do-it-all player that Amina Ekic can be. As McCain gets on it. Coughed up, though, along the back. This press of Fort Lauderdale causing some issues in these first 45 minutes for Lexington. Driven centrally, takes a deflection, cleared away. Taylor Smith able to send that into the seats over on the far touchline, and Lexington will have a throw in. When you are dealing with a team that wants to press as aggressively as Fort Lauderdale in this first half, how do you break that press down? As we see it come up again, Fort Lauderdale on the move. Raji swings it out wide. Here's Simpson. Hamid trying that backheel pass. She's connected on a few of those. They were ready for it the third time. Bourgeois pushing the pace.
Square pass again.
Bourgeois able to slide it inside to Barry. The dump off over to Fung. Ulmer down the far left channel trying to connect with Barry, and they do. Barry tied up. Shania Gordon able to get the better of her. Tuso works this one ahead. Now Ulmer going to roll it out wide.
Turnover.
Lexington trying to find the options on that underlapping run. They had Griffith for a moment, and again, we see Fort Lauderdale, their ability to close in on the ball, as we have a whistle from Lauren Aldrich.
Yeah, but the fact that they're closing down so fast is really shutting down that attack from Lexington. It's well done on their part.
Between the way Fort Lauderdale has been able to maintain their shape defensively in this first half and those closeouts on the ball. To your point, it's creating some real areas of confusion for Lexington in this first half. Aura drives this forward, headed back down by Lexington. Lexington still seeking their first shot on target. They spring free. Trying to roll it to a flashing Ekic toward goal. It was coded well defensively.
Yeah, we've got to be more critical and crucial on those on that final third, those passes in there. Cannot give it away or you're not going to get a goal.
In talking about that shape maintained by Fort Lauderdale defensively, you also have to give credit to their rest defense, the way they've been able to really get back very quickly, because Lexington, especially in those first 15 minutes or so, spent considerable time in this end of things, but no shots on target earned from it.
No, so, I mean, you can get all the shots you want, but if Fort Lauderdale stays strong in their defense, then it's not going anywhere. Props to them on that.
Aura trying to work it forward and come all the way out toward the near midfield stripe. It's Lexington, though, able to win it back, and now here they come. Lexington have made a point to get their fullbacks very high in this first half. Bourgeois, one of them over on this right-hand side. Kane will turn this back to Pantuso. Griffith trying to lay it off, looking for McCain and finding her. Ekic taps it ahead. Unable to connect with a teammate. And Bellahara will claim possession of that.
Their movement is great, but that final ball into that attacking third is just not cutting it so far for them.
Bellahara, big shoes to fill in 2025 for Fort Lauderdale United in goal. Cosette Morche departing in the offseason, one of the litany of players for Fort Lauderdale United moving on to other teams. For Morche heading to the ranks of the NWSL as Hamid impeded and taken down.
I think Hamid has drawn 4 of those fouls, possibly more. But her drive is dangerous.
The fourth official indicating a minimum of 3 minutes of added time. It's Bourgeois with the yellow. Anytime you come in from behind like that, you are taking things, or rather putting things in the hands of the official. You don't want to get into too much of a consistent habit of that, but to your earlier point, Hamid doing a really good job of winning fouls.
She drives and she does not stop, which is huge on her part, because she, as you can see here, she's gotten quite a ton amount of fouls, free kicks for them, and it's dangerous.
Gonzalez swings it out wide on the restart. To the end line, it's Gordon. Ultimately cleared away by Lexington, but not clear enough. Taylor Smith keeps it on. Aura showing all her distribution there, connecting with Simpson. Heads it into an empty space. Lexington feeling the heat, just looking for a release pass there. Quickly thrown back in. Here's Lexington. Lifted all the way ahead. Will go off the head of McCain, and Gordon, the captain for Fort Lauderdale, will trot all the way back to claim that. Raji trying to turn, wins a foul. Gonzalez stands over top of it. Coming up on the end of this first half, one that in the early stages controlled by Lexington, but since then, Fort Lauderdale have really asserted themselves. Gonzalez drives this one ahead, knocked down by Lexington. Considerable numbers have been thrown forward by Tyrone Mears and Fort Lauderdale United. It's caused some issues in terms of clearing the lines for Lexington. Bourgeois able to sidestep one. Up ahead to Ekich. Operating, Ekich. Rolls it back centrally, it's Griffith. Trying to poke that one free from Gonzalez. Hacked all the way back down by Fort Lauderdale. Lauren Aldrich sounds the whistle. The final act of the opening 45 minutes in the books. Fort Lauderdale, a slim lead, and they really grew into that first half.
You know, they did. It was definitely an entertaining first half. I'll give them that much. A lot of fouls, setting the stage for the season for sure. What I will say, Fort Lauderdale United is doing great on the counterattacks, driving forward, but they're, I would say, missing that connect of that extra forward up top, so it hasn't really given them too many goals there, but they got a clear and a beautiful free kick right in front of frame. Great finish, perfect bend into the back of the net. So love that. On the other end, we have Lexington, who is connecting it really well, but hasn't put in the back of the net, unfortunately.
Fort Lauderdale United kicking off the season. They lead it at home through 45 minutes of play. Welcome back, Gamebridge Super League. Daria Raji with the opening goal of the season. It's 1-0 Fort Lauderdale United through 45 minutes of play.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833-ALL-YEAR. That's 833-ALL-YEAR.
What does it mean to feel welcome? To not only be cared for, but to be cared about, to trust. At Baptist Health, this is the warmer side of care. So welcome to being treated with a human touch, where your best interest is our best interest. Here, we advance innovation and treatments through research while educating the next generation of experts close to home. Welcome to the warmer side of care. Welcome to Baptist Health.
From the trusted family of All Year Cooling and the official water of Fort Lauderdale United FC, we bring you All Year Hydration. Our whole home water purification system removes chlorine, lead, microplastics, even forever chemicals. Visit us at allyearhydration.com to book your free water test today.
Technical goalkeeping. Tampa Bay has done
it. Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador, Spiked Bebidas.
Lauderdale. It's a 1-0 lead through 45 minutes of play for Fort Lauderdale United. Tonight's halftime is presented by iHeartRadio. Year 2 of the Gamebridge Super League is officially off and running. Fort Lauderdale United and Lexington kicking things off. Elsewhere around the league, Brooklyn and Tampa Bay getting going. A 1-0 lead for Brooklyn in the second half, but all eyes on that 8:47 match that has been delayed. Sporting Jacks, the newcomers to USL Super League, the Gamebridge Super League, here in year 2. Out-of-town scores presented by Delta Airlines. Plenty of news and notes to catch you up on here in match day 1. Amina Ekic returning to her home state of Kentucky. Stella Spitzer, the youngest player to sign a professional contract. But Brooklyn FC, the aforementioned Brooklyn FC, out in front in their match, signing the 2 Croatian stars, the sisters Anna and Kiki Markovic, the second sister duo in the league. Year 1 of the Gamebridge Super League was a smashing success. Let's take an inside look at Gamebridge Super League's inaugural season, courtesy of our friends at Front Office Sports and Gamebridge.
In the past couple of years, the growth of women's sports has been undeniable.
Walking out on the field, seeing all our fans, all those little girls screaming our name, I have goosebumps.
It's just opportunity, opportunity, opportunity.
It's well publicized that we spend more than 40% of our sports sponsorship in the women's sports space. To take a leadership role with an organization that is already, even in its inaugural year, launched with 8 teams, 9 next year, talk of 10 or more in the 3rd season. They've already got an established broadcast partner.
Puts it in front! There it is!
When people are asking me, why did you do it? With all of that, you look and you say, well, why wouldn't we do it?
People are finally seeing what women can do in sport.
This is about investing in the future and the future of women.
Stream the full documentary at frontofficesports.com. Fort Lauderdale United out in front at the half. We'll head back to break. Our halftime report rolls on when we return. Back in South Florida, it's a tight one at the half between Fort Lauderdale United and Lexington SC. Fort Lauderdale on top 1-0. Tonight's halftime presented by iHeartRadio. Let's get you caught up with how we got to this point with our first half highlights presented by Blue Water Books and Charts. We pick it up early. Lexington, an early opportunity to get on the board.
Great movement here from coming from wide into the center, square ball through. They get right into the middle of the box, takes a shot, just misses it wide, but fantastic opportunity. They just got to capitalize on those.
Really tried to funnel opportunities through Amina Ekic as they do there, just pushing it wide of the near post. Then Fort Lauderdale, who really grew into that first half, would come back down and test the young keeper, Kat Asman.
Yeah, testing the keeper from a nice long shot from out wide. She has to make a save, and first shot on goal, we'll take it.
Asman thrust into early action on the Hamid chance, able to push that one over the bar. Then in the 16th minute, this ultimately set up by the foul drawn by Jasmine Hamid, who was all over the ball in that first half.
She really was. She was super dangerous on her counterattacks, driving forward, not backing off, and it's threw every single defender off. Killer finish right here. So credit to Hamid, but credit to that finish.
Officially the first goal of the new Gainbridge Super League season, beating Kat Asman short side on the set piece. That would be enough to keep Fort Lauderdale out in front for the duration of the first half. As we take a look at our halftime stats presented by Beyond Bankard. 5 shots for Lexington, but none of them going on target.
No, so we see that creativity, we see that connection. If it's that final through ball, that final ball on goal, it's not there. They need to work on that.
They've had some good combination plays, trying to build things up a bit, just haven't been able to get across that finish line. We'll head back to break. Halftime over when we return to Fort Lauderdale. United on top 1-0. inside beyond Bankard Field. Almost set for the second half between Lexington SC and Fort Lauderdale United. A close one through 45 minutes of play. United on top, 1-0, along with Nikki Hames, Jake Griffith. Glad to have you along with us. It is match day 1, but Fort Lauderdale United through 45 minutes of play, looking like a well-oiled machine, Nikki. And that is impressive considering the key departures that they suffered. Fung, Gottschalk, McNeil, and Addie McCain especially.
Absolutely, but hey, they're holding it together, they're finding that drive, and they're really becoming dangerous in those attacks. So it's exciting to see the new players coming together.
7 of the 12 players who scored at least 1 goal a season ago for Fort Lauderdale gone. 9 players with at least a goal contribution last year do not return to the fold for Fort Lauderdale United, and yet Tyrone Mears, Allie Rogers, the associate head coach, and this Fort Lauderdale United team continued chugging right along. They got better as the first half went on, but all eyes turn now to Lexington as we get set to start this second half. One of these new additions, how can they get Lexington across that finish line? It's been a physical affair through 45 minutes of play. Lauren Aldrich, our center referee, handed out 5 yellow cards in the first half. Aldrich sounds the whistle. Half number 2 is off and running inside beyond Bankard Field. Helped along. Here's Gordon leading the charge. Trying to cut back to the inside and does. Quickly on the front foot, it's Fort Lauderdale. Pinballing around inside, trying to play it back to Asman, who finally lays on top of it. There was a whistle that came in at the last moment.
I love that idea, that through ball, or that square ball there was unpredicted and then played it into the box. Dangerous.
The final third entries for Fort Lauderdale have been very impressive, especially when they get into that zone 14 space just outside the penalty area. They have been able to create a lot of combinations and numerical advantages against Lexington.
They have. I think there was that final connection they were missing, but I feel like it's loading right there. It's about to come.
Another whistle sounds from Lauren Aldrich. When fans at home hear that term, zone 14, obviously you and I know that as the golden zone, right? That's where you want to generate a lot of offense, but why is that space at the top of the 18 so important? Hold on that, because Fort Lauderdale from distance, skipping wide from Gonzalez. Boy, that counterattack for Fort Lauderdale has had so much teeth behind it tonight.
Great counter, super dangerous against Lexington here. She just missed it, has a curl, a nice bend that comes out nice and wide, but I don't know if that's what she was aiming for.
Time Kat Gonzalez, the former Carolina Ascent midfielder, leading the way that time. Going back to it though, that zone 14 space, why is that such a dangerous area for teams to be able to create it?
Because as a player who's, let's say, driving down line, their first thought is, or as a keeper, you're going to look at right at the top, or right where that ball is. But if you play at top of the box, no one's really predicting it. So you're creating this completely new zone that no one's seeing. Easy ball right into the goal. My favorite ball, that's for sure.
Asman puts that ball back into play. Back down by Fort Lauderdale United. They have really controlled the middle third of the pitch as this contest has carried along. Talk about rest defense in the first half, being a good possession-oriented team. One of the core pillars of Fort Lauderdale United, as there was a whistle from Lauren Aldrich for the foul. But even going back to last season, Fort Lauderdale controlling the midfield was part of their identity. Third most possession won in the midfield a season ago. They led the league in average possession. Here they are on it again. Joining the attack, it's Hamid on the left. Trying to steer it back inside to Locklear. Just a step shy of her. Asman under duress, whips that away from pressure. Gordon will watch that pop out of play for the throw-in. Nia Gordon, former Racing Louisville player back in the 2022 season, 4 appearances with them. It's turned over once more. That's becoming a theme for Lexington, leading the way as Hamid knocked off the ball by Pantuso. And Hamid commits the foul on the end of it.
More body we're seeing there, really setting the scene. Another dangerous drive forward by Hamid. Again, she's really becoming crucial in that attack. She does not back off, but this time she came back and she's the one who gave the foul.
Hamid, one of the 5 players in that first half who was shown yellow, does have to be a bit more careful carrying that yellow card.
Yeah, but so do a bunch of people on this field right now.
When you are a player carrying a yellow, how does that change the way you approach things when you go in for tackles or challenges?
It does. I mean, every player kind of has a different perspective on it. So for me, I wouldn't say I'm the most physical when it comes to drawing those fouls. So when I do have one, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty cautious on drawing that second one. But I've seen people that say, I don't care, I'm going for it no matter what, because I'm not letting that ball through. So it really comes down to the mentality of that one player.
Another foul whistled for by Aldrich, our center referee. It sets Lexington SC up with a free kick in the attacking half of things.
Similar position to that first half. Let's see kind of where she puts it, if it's wide again or in that perfect position for her players driving in.
Ekic drives it up toward goal, headed out of play. Last-ditch effort on the clearance from Hamid, and it concedes the corner.
Hamid is everywhere in this game.
Just a long probing pass there, and Hamid in good position to knock that away. This corner kick presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. Ekic has been the point person on all these set pieces so far tonight. She'll have it from the near flag. Drives it in low, quickly cleared away. Now thumped further clear by Kat Gonzalez, and Lexington will double back. I think that's a good example of what we've talked so much about tonight. As this ball rolls all the way to the end line, out for a goal kick, and now we have another whistle from Lauren Aldrich. But the way this Fort Lauderdale defense, as that ball was cleared back across the halfway line, you saw all of them in black moving as a well-oiled unit, and then when Lexington lumped it forward, they do the exact same thing. It's been an all-together as one effort defensively tonight for Lexington.
It has, it really has. So it's made a difference for sure, but need to see Lexington come and capitalize on their finishes in the attack.
Headed back down by Lexington. Had some good spells of possession, consistent possession in that first half. Trying to find that same footing in the second. Barry trying to shift back to the outside, whips this cross in. Taylor Smith handcuffed a bit by that ball. Pressure still lives. Second ball served back in, but sailing wide. Fans, Fort Lauderdale United FC will be back in action at home on August 30th versus Carolina Ascent FC at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets at FTLUTD.com. Plenty of people have that matchup circled on their calendars. Some great regular season fixtures between those teams. It's some pressure applied here by Lexington, and they ultimately win it back. Ekic on a right, it's blocked. Helps it back along. Fong off the half volley. Sails that wide. That Carolina Ascent Fort Lauderdale series, though, those teams back and forth at times in the regular season. Fort Lauderdale getting past Carolina, the Players' Shield winner a season ago, to get into that USL Super League final. When you have a league that is so young as the Gainbridge Super League, the immediate question becomes, well, what are your historic rivalries? And very quickly, we're seeing some of those rivalries carved out in this new league as that's cleared out. Fort Lauderdale as well, carving out a rivalry with Tampa Bay Sun. As we showed you at the top of our broadcast, that USL Super League final, then it was now known as the Gainbridge Super League, as this worked in behind and out of play. Fort Lauderdale falling to Tampa Bay in that final. Speaking of Tampa Bay Sun, the reigning champions, the other match in action around Gainbridge Super League play, Brooklyn finding themselves up 2-0 in the late stages, coming up on the final whistle in that. They slid back inside, shuffle it over, and knocked off the ball. It was Hannah Johnson.
Lexington with these square balls are making a huge difference, actually. You don't see it too often, but for them, they're moving one way, pulling defenders, and then playing that square ball, and it's creating some creativity for them.
And that's the goal of those, right, is to move the team side to side, and that naturally is going to create some gaps in the defense. A real credit goes to Fort Lauderdale, though. There just haven't been many gaps tonight defensively.
Absolutely. The Lexington creativity isn't quite coming as far forward as they want it, so they're getting that creativity, they're getting that ball, but then not being able to move past that Fort Lauderdale defense.
Lexington trying to move forward. Fung conceding some ground. Lobbed up ahead out wide. Griffith, good first touch. Now Griffith knifing inside. Can't get past the stout defending of Shania Gordon. And now Gordon has it. Racing ahead is Fort Lauderdale. Options all around for Gordon. Falls back to her, it's Gordon, goes high.
Gordon had some great overlapping runs a few times in this game, and it's really made an impact on that attack. She's driving. She gets forward all the way from that defensive line, creates that space, gets that shot on goal. Beautiful. Great job on her part.
Shania Gordon and Fort Lauderdale United continuing to find options going forward. 9 goal contributions a season ago for the former West Virginia Mountaineer, and that tucked home. A giveaway at the back, 2-0 Fort Lauderdale United.
That's that golden spot we just talked about, top of the box. Beautiful drive down line. And great placement top of the box. And a good finish on goal.
Fort Lauderdale continues to capitalize on the counter.
Good, beautiful finish.
Locklear able to tuck that one home.
Oh, missed pass on that. Great capitalization, turns it over. Center of the park.
That Fort Lauderdale United FC goal brought to you by Baptist Health, committed to keeping our athletes and community at their best. Fort Lauderdale United coming into the season, Tyrone Mears acknowledging that they needed to rely on the play of Kiara Locklear. We highlighted her in our broadcast open for a reason as the player to watch, and she comes through, widening the gap between Fort Lauderdale and Lexington. The home side wanting more. Good ball played forward. It's Van Treek. Van Treek tried the back heel pass. It's the 4th or 5th time Fort Lauderdale has tried to get a little crafty with those. Had some success early on. Lexington has started to adapt.
Closing down fast again.
Lexington now staring down a 2-0 deficit in this second half. Still seeking that first shot on target. They're up to 7 on the night. That booted forward but headed away.
Another drive forward. Let's see what she can pull this time.
Hamid gives it up out wide. Locklear plays it in front. Well read by Asman.
Great ball though.
Quick whistle from Lauren Aldrich. That's the kind of goalkeeping you want, though, from the young Kat Asman. great reaction time off the line. Great ball played through, too, by Hamid to set Locklear up. Hamid comes up with another interception in the midfield. This Fort Lauderdale team, we showed you coming into this second half, the losses they suffered personnel-wise heading into 25-26. But they do bring a solid core back in this new campaign, as Lauren Aldrich will whistle for another stoppage. Laurel Ansbro back, Shania Gordon, Nia Christopher. Once they get Lavini Vaca healthy, we've mentioned the players, or the play rather, of Jasmine Hamid and Kiara Locklear. I thought it was interesting that Tyrone Mears, he said it does and it doesn't help make that transition into year 2 easy. It does in terms of more players are up to speed in terms of what they want, but it is hard to offset so many of those losses that Fort Lauderdale have suffered.
It is, but the one thing he said that stood out to me was that they're a team that does fight and they don't give up, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. That drive, that close down fast, that drive into space forward has really helped them capitalize and create the goal scoring opportunities. So he was right, and we're seeing it firsthand here.
Back on it again, this whipped in with pace, headed over the bar and out.
They are not backing off, and it is beautiful. Great ball into space, great diving header, just over the bar.
Your second please, substitution for Lexington. Out number 35, Sarah Griffin. In number 11, Mackenzie Wheaton. Out number 17, Kathy Fung. In number 25, Dave Moyer.
Lexington and Misaki Hemi, they will make changes as we come across that hour mark played. Mackenzie Weinert, who we highlighted at the top of our broadcast, in. Shay Moyer will join her. 28 appearances, all starts a season ago for Shay Moyer. Substitutions brought to you by Omega XL Sport. One thing that has changed in a positive direction for Fort Lauderdale in this second half, we're starting to see Kelly Van Treek get more involved offensively, coming up from that midfield space. Van Treek was the one who just headed that over the crossbar. If you're Tyrone Mears and Allie Rogers, you have to be licking your chops at the fact that look at all these attacking options we somehow have as this contest carries on.
Yeah, I think first half we saw a lot of counterattacks, a lot of drive, but missing that connection to that final player. And I think this half they're capitalizing on that, which is creating that goal scoring opportunity, and they're making a big difference here.
Lexington winds up with a free kick in the attacking half again. Allison Pantuso stands over it, former Oregon State captain during her collegiate days. Lexington fans very familiar with the soccer program caliber at Oregon State. The men's side of Lexington SC, currently managed by Terry Boss, former Oregon State men's soccer head coach. Lexington men finding themselves on the right side of the playoff picture in USL Championship. This lob toward goal, tapped in!
Beautiful header, great redirection, great ball.
Lexington able to pull a goal back. The immediate response for the Greens, 2-1.
Great ball over top, great running, great redirection, beautiful all around. Fantastic finish for Lexington.
Just a well-weighted ball onto the head of who else? Addie McCain in her return to Fort Lauderdale, getting on the score sheet and getting Lexington off and running in 2025. You mentioned the fight of Fort Lauderdale earlier. This Lexington side showing fight now in this second half.
Absolutely, they're not backing down, and we have a game here.
Weinert able to turn on the ball. Now Weinert will get it back. Racing ahead, it's Mackenzie Weinert trying to slide it in front. Unable to, and that's claimed by Bellahara.
Great ball down line though, great overlapping run. She's getting in there, can't quite get it on the right foot that she wants, but beautiful drive, beautiful connection.
Weinert had just come on a few minutes ago, providing an instant spark off the bench for Lexington SC. Lexington will work this one along, trying to find Weinert in the middle. No foul given by Lauren Aldrich. Aldrich has started to let them play a little bit more as this contest has carried on. A very tightly officiated first 45 minutes, and now Fort Lauderdale United on it. Gonzalez funnels this forward. Hamid on the left. Hamid trying to play it back in the middle. McCain comes up with the loose ball. She was knocked off of it, and here comes Taylor Smith. Ahead, Van Treek. Van Treek tight on the end line, trying to snug it, and just runs out of real estate. Goal kick given to Lexington. Again, though, we see Fort Lauderdale continuing to use those wide areas. It's pulling Lexington more expansive with them, and that's creating options back on the inside of the pitch.
It is that special, that one space we talk about. They can get down line, they can find top of the box. It's gonna be really, really dangerous for them.
As we showed you at the top of our broadcast, with the goal in the Gainbridge Super League final, how dangerous those wide areas can be when you do what you're talking about, then cut it back to the inside. Defenders get caught flat-footed trying to turn very quickly, and it creates a bevy of options.
Absolutely. That's that ball you don't want against you, that's for sure.
Two from Fort Lauderdale. That one thumped forward, though. The Gainbridge Super League season has officially begun. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Super League. Gainbridge Super League website getting a nice refresh in the offseason, too. Very nice. Looks great. Orange really pops on the site. All the way ahead. No one will get to that for Lexington. And Allie George will let that roll back to the feet of Bellahara. Allie George was a player that Tyrone Mears singled out in our chat with him leading up to this match. Comes over from Racing Louisville in July. And Mears says he's known about her quality for a while, did very well in college, but came over to Fort Lauderdale United with that feeling of not getting the playing time she was hoping for with Racing Louisville. And he said she's got a real point to prove coming over to Fort Lauderdale and trying to make an impact.
Yeah, absolutely, and here we see it. So game number one, she's proving that point.
A whistle sounds from Lauren Aldrich, and a free kick awarded as George, Smith and company will walk this one forward. Mears did say the biggest thing that she's had to adapt to in the run-up to the start of the Gainbridge Super League season is just the way, the style in which Fort Lauderdale trains. Asks a lot of their players. George drives this one forward. Short header away. Raji helps it back along, though. Gonzalez the layoff. Here's Hamid in front, just out of the reach of Locklear. Oh, Locklear had her eyes rather, on a brace in this second half.
Yeah, beautiful ball though. I love that. Still away from the keeper. Player just missed it, but that's the ball we like.
Gonzalez will pick the pieces up for Fort Lauderdale United. Gonzalez, the former Eastern Carolina and Marshall midfielder collegiately. She's brought a lot to this Fort Lauderdale midfield here in this contest, but won back by Lexington. Transitioning now, worked up ahead, this in front, a kick save, no! It's in!
Wow, what a finish. Close save though.
All on level footing in Florida. Lexington has battled back from 2 down, 2-2.
Beautiful drive forward. Cuts in, plays that player. So close on that save, but hey, it goes in the back of the net. Great finish.
It's the super substitute, Mackenzie Weiner. That's one of those, if you're Bellahara, you're gonna want that one back. Was in good position to stop it, got a piece of it. Not enough to deny the quality of Weiner. And this is a whole new ball game. Lexington with all the momentum down the stretch of this second half. Long pass over the top though, pulled down on the move by Van Treek. Van Treek off the post and out. Gordon will run this one down, tries to cut it back inside, ricocheting around. Gonzalez scoops it up. Second ball served in, clearance whiffed on. Van Treek, last effort on the deflection, and it's out for a corner.
Beautiful ball over top, way to bring that down. She has plenty of space. Great finish, just hits the post. But again, we have more and more control there. We're getting closer for another goal.
Second corner of the night for Fort Lauderdale United. This corner presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. What a response for Fort Lauderdale after conceding the equalizer here down the stretch of this second half.
I think that's the most space I've seen with a player in the final third have to be able to take on shot, to take on goal.
Gonzalez drives this into a crowd, headed down. Second ball served back in the mixer. Asman climbing the ladder and grabbing it. Asman made contact with Locklear, who's slow to get back up. Trainers attending to Kiara Locklear down after a collision inside the penalty area. Warren Aldrich will send the teams over to their respective sidelines. Misaki Hemi and Lexington SC very locked in, not just to that conversation they're having on the sideline, but to this contest, which has come to a halt due to the injury to Kiara Locklear. Locklear's come up big, not just in her career for Fort Lauderdale when they've needed her, but tonight as well, scoring the goal that made it 2-0 Fort Lauderdale United. Trainers working on that left leg of Locklear. Kiara Locklear is back to her feet, up and jogging around. Raji in the 16th minute that opened the scoring in this contest. Kiara Locklear would tack on the second unanswered for Fort Lauderdale United before Lexington has responded in kind with 2 unanswered of their own. Lexington will make a change as Justina Gaynor will come on for her first appearance of the season. Julia Grosso will come on for Fort Lauderdale United. Those substitutions brought to you by Omega XL Sport. Players joining the fold for their respective teams as play will resume. Off the drop ball, players that have previous experience in the NWSL. Justina Gaynor, 2 appearances earlier this year for Chicago Stars. How about the play of Mackenzie Weinert? That one will go rolling out. It will be a throw, but Weinert not just scoring the equalizing goal minutes ago. Since she has come on the pitch, she has just been flying all around and creating havoc.
She really has, and not only that, but her movement has created more movement from the players around her, which is even more interesting. The overlapping runs and through balls, beautiful from her, creating that creativity.
Aldrich with a quick whistle. Lexington will have a free kick. Now Allie George slow to get back to her feet for Fort Lauderdale.
Fouls on fouls this game.
That's created some disjointed moments throughout this contest because of the number of whistles. Fort Lauderdale holding off on that change, bringing Julia Grosso on. Daria Raji still out there. This lifted into a crowd toward goal. Hara able to bat that one down and make the grab. Whip this one forward down the left channel, looking for Locklear. She had gone down earlier, just a few minutes ago, with the knock. But is carrying on out there. Fort Lauderdale will now make the aforementioned change as Grosso spent 2024 with the Utah Royals before joining Fort Lauderdale United in 2025. She will come on. And Daria Raji will exit. That substitution brought to you by Omega XL Sport. An impressive shift turned in from Raji. Another whistle from Lauren Aldrin. "26 combined fouls tonight between these teams, including that most recent whistle. As a player, when there are so many stoppages because of fouls and because of cards, how hard is that to start, stop, and get in that habit?
It's hard because it really disrupts the play. So you have this momentum, you're going. So if Lexington or Fort Lauderdale is really controlling the game, and then you get a foul, it can change the entire play, can change the entire momentum of the game. So, I mean, for the team that doesn't have the momentum, great. For the team that does, it's a tough one.
I've seen fouls play a significant factor in this contest. The Daria Raji opening goal off the free kick, and now another free kick won by Fort Lauderdale United.
I will say they're going both ways though, so I mean, it could go any way here.
Gaynor just battling in here, ultimately colliding with Hamid. Hamid's gonna want to take a pretty long ice bath after this contest. She has been involved in some heavy challenges, spent a lot of time down on the grass here inside beyond Bankert Field.
Yes, she has.
For Lauderdale United, they've converted off a set piece once tonight. Big spot for the home side. Gonzalez drops this one in toward goal. And it will take a hop into the hands of Asman. Stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. Sign up for the Super newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Weinert gave it up. Ulmer able to cycle it along out wide. Here's Lexington. Steps inside, parried away by Hara.
Beautiful cut in there, great shot. Good power.
We haven't called Amina Ekic's name much in this second half, but coming through there and generating a corner. She will walk over to that corner flag to take it. This corner kick presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. The 5th corner of the night upcoming for Lexington. No shortage of set piece opportunities for the Greens. Ekic swings this in, headed wide. It'll stay on this end, consecutive corners. Good swinging ball there from Amina Ekic. Knocked out of play by Ella Simpson. A high pressure spot if you're the Fort Lauderdale defense, which for large stretches has been so stout in this contest. Now back on their heels. This corner presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. Ekic drives this top of the area, chip toward goal, and rolling wide.
Two different style corners there. We had a lofter and we had a driven ball, which is interesting, but not quite on frame, either of them.
In these final 10 minutes, inside beyond Bankard Field. 3 points still hanging in the balance in this season opener. Lexington, they've scored the 2 unanswered since going down 2-0. Great grit shown by Masaki Himi's side to battle back from that deficit. Lexington had struggles in dropping points a season ago from winning positions, but Fort Lauderdale did as well. 12 dropped from winning positions. Trying to knife her way in was Gaynor. Was dispossessed. Hamid steps past one defender, negotiating through the midfield. Also resets things. Here's George. Back ahead to Taylor Smith, who's taken down, and that will draw another whistle. It may be the season opener, but both of these teams are in mid-season form in terms of pleading their case as to why the whistles weren't fouls against them. It does result in a free kick for Fort Lauderdale United. George swings this inside, knotted away by Pantuso. Trying to turn this upfield is Lexington. Just not enough numbers going forward. This has been an area throughout this contest. Fort Lauderdale has done a good job of playing out from the back, drawing Lexington in a bit, and that has opened things up going forward. That time just not able to connect a pass.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we talked about prior to the game, about that creativity from the back and building out of there, and I'm seeing it happen. So good job on their part.
An unforced error from Lexington. Change of possession will occur via the throw in. Capitalized on it is Fort Lauderdale United. They themselves give it right back up. Countering is Lexington. It's Weinert leading the way. Gaynor turns, moves it off to Bourgeois. Bourgeois' service in, headed away by Grosso. Not clear though. Ultimately knocked away by the defense of Fort Lauderdale. Gordon will pick the pieces up. Great speed shown on this outside by Shania Gordon. Still Gordon cutting in. It's Gordon! Stop made by Asman.
Another great run for her though, coming from the back, driving down that line. She's done a really good job of that this game.
calling your own number and just leading that charge. Now the third save of the evening for Kat Asman. Lexington continuing to make changes as Hannah White will come on for Lexington SC. Fort Lauderdale will counter with a change of their own. Carlin Baldwin, the former Tennessee Volunteer, is on. Those substitutions brought to you by Omega XL Sport. Cleared out of play. Lexington will have this throw deep in toward this final third. Misaki Hemi and this Lexington coaching staff, they're going for it. An offensive-minded change, bringing Hannah White on, who had 3 goals a season ago in her first year with the Greens.
Some fresh legs right now is really going to help. Let's see if it makes a difference.
Those fresh legs have already made a difference in this second half for Lexington. Weiner, the goal. Long toss ahead into the penalty area. Still loose, ricocheting around. It's White, her shot blocked. Ulmer able to help this one along. Out of the reach of Gaynor. Cleared away by Fort Lauderdale. Lexington incensed. Misaki Hemi pleading for a penalty. Lofted back ahead and headed away by Fort Lauderdale. Hamid has it taken away, quickly countering. Ekic works it out wide. It's Weinert. Weinert! Deflected on its way through. It's a corner awarded.
We have another foul here coming from behind. Just could not clear that ball. Instead got those feet. Great turn. Great pass. Beautiful switch. Great, beautiful cut. I've got to tell you, they are moving the ball well, creating that creativity connection, and it's really getting those opportunities on frame now.
Corner coming for Lexington. This corner presented by All Year Cooling and Plumbing. Ekic angles this high toward the near post, off the woodwork and in! Three unanswered for Lexington on the road, and the Greens look set to steal one. 3-2.
Saw a keeper on the floor there.
Bellahara had gone down. Fort Lauderdale begging Lauren Aldrich for a whistle. After a discussion, it is confirmed. It's Lexington out in front for the first time tonight.
Wow, they did not back off, and they put it in the back of the net. That's exactly what they're looking for.
There was a delay to the ruling. Assistant referee never signaled for a goal. They convened, discussed with Lauren Aldrich. It was confirmed. It is a goal. How about the turnaround in the second half for Misaki Hemi and Lexington SC?
Huge turnaround there. Hara's going to feel that one. But hey, Lexington put it in the back of the net. They are not backing down.
Misaki Hemi told us in the midweek that from day one of preseason training, Lexington had set the goal. Come out, be authentic, be themselves, and win match number 1. They went down 2-0 in this second half, and that cast some doubt on whether or not they could get across the finish line. completely changed over these last 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing he mentioned to us was that building that creativity and problem solving, and hey, they needed a goal and they found a way to get that goal, and they're still fighting.
Doing it away from home as well, which is such a tough task. You look at last year, just 3 wins on the road. Only 5 matches of the 14 they played in which they even earned a point with those 2 additional draws. Misaki Himi, though, he was calm, cool, and collected. He said, it doesn't really change anything for us. This whipped up ahead. It's Gordon in behind. Still Gordon on it. Ultimately rolled into the hands of Asman. Official points to the spot. It's a penalty awarded.
Wow. Another great run by Gordon, driving up top. You see her all the way up there. She is not backing down. Down to the floor. She is taking her penalty.
This season opener of the Gainbridge Super League continuing to deliver. Now 6 minutes of stoppage time, but first, Fort Lauderdale United, a chance to pull back level. Jasmine Hamid steps to the spot. Fort Lauderdale a season ago, 1 for 1 on penalties. Hamid, a chance to be a hero, squaring off against Asman. Hamid scores! All level at 3.
Beautiful PK, great placement right there. Hamid just calmly places it side netting, inside of the foot. Beautiful.
Cool as you like. Jasmine Hamid and Fort Lauderdale fighting back from a deficit for the first time tonight.
What a game.
That Fort Lauderdale United FC goal brought to you by Baptist Health, committed to keeping our athletes and community at their best. Jasmine Hamid tucking it away and getting a well-deserved standing ovation. Cheyenne Allen will come on to spell her. Lexington a season ago, a league worst 17 goals allowed in the final 15 minutes. An opportunity here for Fort Lauderdale. Gordon on the right. Gordon lifts it back post. It sails wide.
Gordon is really being dangerous driving down that line, driving forward, and seeing that from coming from the back is huge.
All the energy, all the momentum was resting with Lexington. The 3 unanswered goals in this second half. Fort Lauderdale continuing to fight to the full-time whistle. Able to connect that pass over on the far side. It's a turnover, quickly tossed in by Lexington. Catch Fort Lauderdale off guard. Fort Lauderdale defensively so strong in the first 45 minutes, including in the first 15 of this second half. But Lexington, the speed, the pace at which they've moved as the half has carried on, has created some frantic moments at the back.
It has, and you gotta look at 2 things. Is it the change in Lexington, or is it any fatigue in the legs of Fort Lauderdale? There's 2 things to look at. Because Fort Lauderdale driving and driving and driving is fantastic, but it's really heavy on the legs.
A giveaway. Allen will pounce on that. Fort Lauderdale countering. fight off the challenge at the last minute. Gaynor will hook that away for a clearance. Now on to Ekic. Still Ekic now. Ekic goes down. No whistle given.
I think that was a clean tackle there.
Lobbed up ahead. Locklear runs it down. She has options. Knocked away though by Pantuso, and it does go out for a Fort Lauderdale throw. There is an injured Lexington player down. It's Amina Ekic continuing to work on that left leg.
I don't know if that's an injury or some leg fatigue there.
The shifts that all of these players have turned in tonight, it would be understandable if that would just be fatigue. As Ekic continuing to be looked at by the training staff over on the opposite end of things.
It's definitely a battle, so that fatigue setting in, I feel it from my end.
Especially these last 5 to 7 minutes. This has really turned into a track meet. Back and forth they go, up and down the pitch. Ekic slow to get back to her feet, but now will be helped back to her feet. Hobble over to that boundary line. It's not what you want to see if you're Masaki Hime and company in the season opener. With this extended stoppage due to the knock to Ekic. Aldrich letting this play pass the 6 allotted. Thrown back into the penalty area. Still bouncing around. Asman will finally lay on top of it. Pushing it forward. Simpson operating. Lauderdale, one last gasp here at the end. Grosso up ahead, steps inside. Grosso shovels it wide.
She did a great job cutting it in, losing her defender, but could not get that bend back post. Just a miss hit on that shot right there.
Also got to step in on that defender. Just sent her tumbling down to the pitch.
Yeah, I think she could have actually taken an extra touch there before she even shot it.
Asman loops that one out of play. Fort Lauderdale will have a throw in. Fired up ahead, rolling in behind. Asman will scoop it up. Johnson find Weinert ahead. Lexington trying to turn on that one, unable to. It falls to Grosso. Grosso whips this one in behind. Locklear trying to run it down, and Pantuso quick with the recovery. Pantuso's been such a crucial piece of the defense tonight for Lexington. Start to understand why Brooklyn played her every single minute a season ago. Also with the throw, into Gordon. Looking for a whistle was Fort Lauderdale, they won't get it, and Asman will have the goal kick late. Back down by Fort Lauderdale United. Now thumped clear by Lexington. Ekic is back on the pitch. Lexington at full strength.
A lot of space here.
Grosso carries it forward, but there's the whistle for full time from Lauren Aldrich. It's all over in Fort Lauderdale.
Wow, what a game.
In the season opener, Lexington and Fort Lauderdale play to a 3-3 hard-fought draw.
Hard fought is right, that's for sure. A lot of battle, a lot of drive, a lot of fight.
Fort Lauderdale able to pull a point out in the season opener thanks to the efforts of tonight's performer of the game. Brought to you by Baptist Health, committed to keeping our athletes and community at their best. Jasmine Hamid converting the match-saving penalty near the death. The opening match of the new Gainbridge Super League season has gone final. 3-3 in Fort Lauderdale. We'll head to break and return to break it all down. Back inside Beyond Bankard Field, it's all final on match day one between Lexington SC and Fort Lauderdale United, playing to a 3-3 draw and sharing the points in this Gainbridge Super League season opener. Let's catch you up on how we got to full-time with our match highlights presented by Blue Water Books and Charts. Jasmine Hamid really causing a lot of issues for Lexington all night.
Absolutely. Again, here we see her drive, her desire not to give up, calls and gets that foul for a beautiful shot on goal. Great little bend on it and a beautiful placement in the side netting.
That would open the scoring in the 16th minute. Then later on in the second half, just a giveaway at the back, and Fort Lauderdale goes up again.
Some miscommunication from Lexington and Fort Lauderdale capitalizing on that.
That press of Fort Lauderdale creating havoc along the back. Just an easy scoop and score, so to speak. But Lexington would show great grit to battle back in this.
Absolutely. Beautiful ball in. Great redirection diving header. That is exactly what to see. Exactly what we want to see. They are not giving up. And that's exactly the game that we saw.
A special goal for Addie McCain in her return to Beyond Bankard Field. Lexington, though, they wouldn't be done.
Absolutely not. Great run on that side. Beautiful space. Hits it right at the keeper, but just hard enough that keeper misses it. And we will take that goal.
The super substitute, Mackenzie Weinert, coming on in the second half. One of the new additions for Lexington SC. Able to bury that. That made it 2-2. And then late, this is our save of the match presented by Omega XL Sport. Slamming the door shut on Lexington was Bellahara.
Good cut, good pace. Beautiful save.
Nakic able to get over to that dangerous left foot. As Bellahara records the save of the match in the 87th minute. What looked to be the winner for Lexington.
Not great on that keeper, misfalling there, but beautiful finish. Back post, she was there. Fort Lauderdale was not.
Pantuso able to kiss that off the crossbar and in, but in the 90th minute, Fort Lauderdale United would find a way to win a penalty.
That drive finally paid off. She moved forward, and she did not back down.
They would defer to Jasmine Hamid. She steps up, calm, cool, and collected. And that is how things would finish out in full time. 3-3 as we take a look at our full-time stats presented by Beyond Bankard. If you're Lexington, you're going to feel a bit frustrated. 14 shots, only 4 of them going on target, despite having the lion's share of possession as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is definitely a positive compared to last season, so they're actually putting the goals in the back of the net, which is great, but building that percentage is going to be big for them.
Fort Lauderdale United very clinical with the 6 shots on target, getting 3 goals out of them as we play to a 3-3 draw in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Gainbridge Super League season is officially back, and in a big way. 2 unanswered for Fort Lauderdale, 3 unanswered for Lexington, and a late penalty converted. For Nikki Hames, producer Emma Watson, and the rest of our broadcast team, I'm Jake Griffith saying so long from South Florida. The points are shared between Lexington and Fort Lauderdale.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.